Back to Terror by the Bay, I'm David. Okay, so here's a topic that I didn't think you don't want to hear about, I don't want to read about, but here we are. The budget. And the continuing resolution that was agreed to between the Democrats and the Republicans to have a continuing resolution of the budget through March to keep the government funded. Now, twice now this card has popped up. But certain people don't want this budget passed and are killing it. And those certain people are President-elect Donald Trump and Grand Vizier Elon Musk, which is throwing the government in turmoil because they have, I think until the end of this week to pass it. I think they have until Friday to pass it. Otherwise, there could be some temporary shutdowns. And then, real shutdowns happening right after that. Now, I didn't want to lead off with this, but it sure looks like Comrade Trump and Comrade Musk are doing the bidding of Vladimir Putin. Why do I say that? Simply that Vladimir Putin wants to wreak havoc in the United States. Wreak havoc with the elections, wreak havoc with the government, bring it toppling down from the inside by unleashing chaos. Donald Trump has been nominating some of the most laughable, ridiculous, outlandish cabinet posts that we've ever seen. Matt Gaetz as Attorney General, for instance. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to head up the Department of Health. Just Jiminy Christmas. Find a flat earther to head up NASA. It's that kind of thing. Stuff you would expect to see in The Onion, or like somebody on Seinfeld is going to write a ridiculous comedy where the most improbable things happen. And there's actually a word for that. Like a castrography or something like that. It sounds like the word catastrophe with an archy in there. And the basic gist is to fill the government with really, really inept people. Sound like what we're going for here? Part of it, I think, is that, and there was an article that was alluding to this, that Trump's picks are so horrific that it's bogging down the vetting process in the Senate. And Trump's probably trying to bog everything down so that he could just appoint whoever he wants and basically force Congress out and then appoint whoever he wants to. Because even though there's laws saying that you can't do that, is there any teeth? Is there anybody who's going to stand up and stop him? Nobody's done it in the last 8 years. What makes you think anybody's going to stop and do it now? That's where we're at. But I want to look into the energy of why is Elon Musk trying to kill the continuing resolution? And they're spreading lies about it. They're saying there's $3 billion in there to give a free football stadium to Washington, D.C. What's in there is that they're going to transfer the land from the federal government to the city so that the city can get plans to develop a football stadium there. That's not giving them $3 billion. It's just transferring the ownership of some land from one government agency to another government agency. But hey, facts are difficult and checking it is even more difficult. And it's inconvenient when you can just believe everything Trump and Musk tell you. For entertainment purposes only, what is driving Donald Trump and Elon Musk to kill funding for the federal government? They want the government to run out of money. Plain and simple. It's one of those things that you can say the government's broken, the government's broken. If you run them out of money, the government will truly be broken. It won't be able to do its function. And then they're going to go out there and say, see, we told you the government was broken. Because they want to be kings, dictators. They want to be Vladimir Putin. They could even be taking orders from Vladimir Putin himself, depending on who you want that to be. Underneath it all, it's 10 of Cups. It's going to make Putin happy. But it's more, it's a power move on the Republicans, who in the Republican Party is aligned under Trump and Musk, the would-be kings of the United States. It's a power move. In the past, the Knight of Pentacles, because they control the money. Musk is very wealthy, and it's his wealth that was helping fund candidates. He basically bought a kingship in the United States, and now he wants to do whatever he wants to do. He wants to crash the government, crash the economy, redo the monetary system in crypto, where he benefits the most from it. And they want to do it in a hurry. They're reckless. They're careless and reckless with this. Literally, we're on the cusp of funding the government, and they want it to shut down. They may very well succeed. Overarching energy is the two coins. Yeah, because they want to shrink the government. They want to do everything they can to shrink the government, which basically gives Trump even more, or the executive office even more power, because there's less bureaucracy to slow down whatever the king wants done. Lesson to be learned is the Three of Cups. If the Republicans all get on board with this, they're going to succeed in crashing things. And then they and their supporters are going to celebrate it. Their supporters certainly celebrate it. You've got two of the biggest cult of personality members teaming up in the form of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, with their fanatics that follow them. Outcome is the Knight of Wands. It's part of a longer-term strategy that they're doing. Now, I've realized I just said Donald Trump and strategy in the same sentence, or even Elon Musk and strategy, but it's kind of, there's a plan in place. And again, it's to crash the government. And once the government's crashed, then they can start doing systematically the stuff they want. The government, everything will slow down in the government, and they want to move quickly. So, in some ways, by toppling this, they can get their people in. I got three of the knights: coins, wands, and swords. They can get their people into the positions they want, but when they want to start getting their agenda items done, there's nobody in the government to actually do it, because they've gutted it. So it's almost like the federal government almost becomes, meaningless, like a paper tiger. What's the word I'm looking for here? They're all bark and no bite, because they can't actually do anything. Like a figurehead government almost. That's the downside of doing it. By getting rid of federal workers, trying to make them contractors and political appointees, you can fill it. You can basically create your own deep state, as it were, of deep state of your flavor that you like, to thwart any new administrations coming in. But at the same time, if you want to get stuff done, probably not going to work, because you're not going to be filling it with people who are competent. You're going to be filling it with people who are loyalists, and loyalist does not equate to competency. Will the Republicans and cooler heads prevail and get this budget, a continuing resolution passed? Yes or no? Four-parter. There's going to be negotiations going on, behind the scenes type stuff. Meanwhile, there's just going to be all sorts of mayhem coming from this. This is exactly what Putin wants. He wants the mayhem. He wants America to look like it's out of control, a house of fire, a house divided, fighting with each other. A big money push here. Oh God. Bringing things to an end. Will there be a shutdown? There may be. You've got things coming to an end. There's a conspiracy going on, bringing things to an end. This could be your budget here. Right now, it's fighting versus looking down the road, and that's maybe what the negotiations are happening is, can we get this continuing resolution through with, a lot of Democrats and a handful of Republicans? Can we do this? Is the fight worth it? But now this death card is really wanting to bring an end to collaboration. And they're using the budget as a cudgel or a dividing point. Again, Musk was using words like, this is just a giveaway to all the Democratic things, just giving the country away to the Democrats. It's been the budget for the last couple of years. And it's only because the Democrats don't control the House, so it's a Republican House. It's a Republican budget. And they're so disorganized and so divided that they can't even pass a budget. They're basic. I thought the American people were smarter and would be tired of a non-functional House of Representatives. And this side of cheating, it appears that no, Americans are quite content with pointless investigations into Joe and Hunter Biden rather than, addressing the problems of the country. The Republicans ran on Biden's inflation back in 2022. Did they pass any legislation to address it? No. They didn't want to. They went culture war stuff and then basically said it was the Democrats who were doing culture war stuff. This is what's frustrating. It's gaslighting through and through. Accuse the other accuse the other side of doing what you're doing. Will Mike Johnson get a budget passed before the end of the year, before the end of 2024? Will Mike Johnson get a budget passed? Page of Pentacles. He might have concepts of a budget. Planning, judgment, working on it. It's possible. Seems probable that he'll get something done. And again, like another, a short-term continuing resolution. Working on the budget, planning for the future, taking care of. They might just have enough votes in the House from Republican House members who are like, we can't do this. Taking care of people, small amounts of money, talking about money, and do you really want to do this at Christmas time? That kind of thing. We'll get them on it's almost like they're going to, it's got the same vibe of kicking the can down the road. I think they will get the budget passed this time around, but I'll tell you what, Elon Musk is really enjoying this pulpit that he now has. Telling politicians what to do and how to do it. It just makes him so happy. He's like the ultimate Karen. Except that he's like, the manager's scared of him. And the owner of the business is scared of him. And the city council's scared of him. That's who he is. Just a troll and a bully. And nobody checks him because he's got a lot of wealth and power. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.